back, everyone. This is James the Tie Guy, and today we're going to be taking a look at one of the newest releases in the Black Series line. This is from the Centerpiece collection, and this is the scene from Force Awakens in the Jakku village raid where Kylo Ren stops Poe's blaster bolt after he fires it from his rifle. It's a really nice piece, probably my favorite out of the Centerpieces, the three of them that have been released so far. What I want to do to give you a good look at it is disassemble it, and then I'll come back and put it back together so you can see the pieces that make it up, and then I'll show you some of the finer details of it and give you my thoughts on it. So I'll be right back after I get it taken apart and we'll take a better look at it. Alright, and we're back after I've taken the Centerpiece apart. So I've got all the pieces laid out here individually, and this is just as it came in the box whenever I opened it. So we'll start the process. We'll go ahead and put together Kylo Ren first, and then we'll set him aside and then assemble the rest of the Centerpiece, and then we'll finally pose him on it. There's actually, I think, 2 different ways that you can pose him, and of course that's in addition to any other figures that you might want to add to it. So let's go ahead and start with Kylo Ren. And yes, this is him. It's not Snoke dressed up as Kylo Ren. Bad joke. So here we have him in his 2 halves. His bottom half came like this, with his bottom part of his cloak. It actually does come off completely, so I'm not sure if all of them come assembled like this or just mine, but there's these 2 pieces. So we'll start with the first one. It's kind of self-explanatory where they go, because they can only go one direction. So we'll put that on there, slides over, and then the other piece of his cloak, again, there's only one way that it can go, so like that. So there's his bottom half assembled. They've done a really nice job on how it looks here as far as being swept by the wind, and also his motion from stopping the blaster bolt. I really like how they did that. And then here's his top half. You can see it fits only one direction that it'll go on here, and once it's on, it kind of holds everything together. So we'll see if we can get that on there, and then once you've got it lined up, you pretty much just have to use some force to get it to go down on there and stay. And you can feel it bottom out to know that you've got it on there right. Look around, make sure that you'll feel it click there. Sometimes you have to move these little pieces just ever so slightly. But once they're there, they will move around some, but they're not going to go anywhere because they're being held on there. And then all that's left is his lightsaber, which unfortunately it's not lit. I can understand why they might not have done that to cut back on cost, because it would have cost extra to miniaturize something small enough to fit in his hilt. I mean, I would have gladly paid an extra $10 or whatever it would have taken to have it light up, but it doesn't. I'm sure somebody will modify it to make it happen, but that's probably the #1 complaint I've seen so far on my Facebook page from the gallery I posted, is that the saber doesn't light up. But it does, you know, as you can see, it's kind of hard to see, but it catches the light pretty good. But it doesn't actually have a light up feature, so it just goes here in the hilt, just like that. So there is Kylo, and we'll move that out of the way, set him there. He actually stands on his own pretty well. Next we'll go with the base. I'll show you a quick rundown. The bottom of it, this is the battery compartment, 3 AA's, triple A's actually. Go in here, you will need a small Phillips screwdriver in order to open the compartment. Here's where your spare pegs are. I've got one out that I used to pose the Kylo Ren. Comes with extras in case you want to post or put additional First Order Stormtroopers on it. There's an illustration on the box of having those posed. It looks good. I tried doing it with one of my Elite series that I had opened, First Order Stormtroopers, but the peg on their feet is actually a little bit too small, the opening on the foot, so it actually didn't fit, and because they're made of die cast, they have to have some support or they won't stand. So it's going to need to be another Black Series trooper if you want them to be able to work along with this centerpiece base. So this is the next piece, the flame. If you look down here, you'll see the two lights that come on whenever it's activated that give it the flickering effect. And those are actually triggered by a button on the post over there, so you can't turn it on without that. So we'll go ahead and just quickly put this into place. There's a tab here and a tab in here, and corresponding on the flame. Only one way it can go, so it's kind of foolproof. Once you get it lined up, you'll feel it click into place, no problem. This in the manual is shown with the blaster bolt being separated, and you assemble it. It does come apart, but I had no need to take it apart, so I just left it. But if yours comes disassembled, then this piece here just snaps into the post here. And then before you put it on, if you want, you can stick the very top of it on. It has this little indentation, and there's a corresponding one in here, so there's only one way you can put it on. So again, foolproof like most of the assembly of this. And then putting it in here, you've got to make sure you line up these little contacts, because the corresponding ones in here is what give it power, and also what triggers the lights down here to turn on through the electrical current that is made through these little posts and the contacts, or the contacts on here and then these posts here. So if we put that in there, it has these little tabs, lock it into place, and you should feel it snap. And we'll test it. So we're good there. And all that leaves is Kylo. I'm getting him posed now. There's two ways you can do this that's in the manual. You can get creative, I'm sure, if you want to do it, find other ways. But it has him as either being like this with both feet on the stand, or like this with one foot on it, and then him being further back, which gives you a little bit more room to pose other troopers if you wanted to. Or, you know, you could even do Phasma, since she was, you know, in the village during that time. So what I'll do is put him like I had him, which was here, since I was kind of constrained for room to display it, and I didn't have any other troopers to use at the moment. I went ahead and set him on it like this. If you look down here, you'll see I'd use one of the pegs. They're really simple. They just pop in and out like this. There they are if you focus on it. And you just put them wherever you want in any of the footholes. I'll make sure, I'll try to show you the different, you can see wherever the holes are, that's where the peg options are. So you have a lot of different ways you can pose troopers or other figures, just depending on what you want. So if we put him on here, and then his other foot doesn't quite line up with this cutout, but it's pretty close enough that he will balance on it. And you just pretty much turn it however you want. I've got some pictures in my gallery. I took, I believe, over 20 of them, really detailed ones, different lighting conditions. Make sure and check those out. I'll leave the link in the description to my Flickr account or on my Facebook page. I post everything there. So here he is, completed. To turn it on, you press this button once. We'll let it turn it on and let it stay on for around 10 seconds. If you press and hold it, it'll stay on continuously until low battery, and then it'll turn off. In my experience, it'll run fairly long on one set of batteries. If you wanted to have it on for long periods of time, I would recommend some rechargeables. Otherwise, it'll eat through 3 AAAs fairly quick. I accidentally left one of my other centerpieces on overnight, and it didn't last even that long. So it depends on your usage for it. But we'll go ahead and, for the purpose of the demonstration, have it stay on continuously. So I'll just press and hold for a moment. Now this is the nice part to me. All the other centerpieces, Luke only had the flame lighting up from the walker foot, and then Vader had the door lighting up, the flame area around the door. So that was nice, but here you've actually got 3 things going on. You've got the flame down here at the blaster bolt right here, and then the actual light post itself is lit up. So 3 different colors, 3 different lighting sources. So I do like that about it. Like I said, I wish his saber lit up. That would be the icing on the cake for me. But I'm not going to complain too much about it because it would take a lot of work to get power. Somehow you'd have to run the contacts in his foot up through him, some wiring of some kind, and then to the hilt of his saber. And so, you know, I understand for manufacturing costs that would probably drive it up quite a bit and get, you know, far away from its $49.99 retail price. So I can see why they didn't do it, but I'm sure someone will modify it. And if we turn it around, give you different angles, you can pose it different ways. I mean, it really looks good from almost any angle. One reason why I like it so much. The others really need to be viewed from one direction to look good, but this one, I took pictures from so many angles and I was just impressed with all of them. You know, even completely behind it, it still looks good. The way they did his cape, his robes here, I mean, it reminds me of one of the Unleashed figures that came out back in the mid, like 2005, 2006. I love those figures. The basically battle poses that they did. Of course, they didn't have lights. They were less expensive, weren't quite this elaborate, but I liked them. And until this, nothing really has come out from Hasbro that resembled it. So these centerpieces I've just been impressed with, and this one so far is the best in my opinion. There it is. So, you know, you got your different views of it here. Like I said, any view of it to me is a good one. The way I think about it is, if you have it displayed in one way and you want to mix it up, you can just re-angle it, turn it around backwards, whatever you want to do, and it's still going to display well. And you also have options on the foot pegs to pose other troopers or even Captain Phasma, whatever you want to do. You can, you know, you have the ability. So that's basically it. That's really what I wanted to show you about it. It retails $49.99. Actually $59.99. I'm sorry. I actually got this one from Amazon because nobody in my area had it. They had sold out of it. And when I checked before I did this video, it was still on there for the same price point. And it comes in a really nice box with the flap that opens on it and the Velcro closures. It's, you know, premium feeling, nice presentation. If you have any questions about it, do let me know by leaving a comment below, or you can leave one on my Facebook page as well, which I'll leave all the links to down in the description. If you like the video, a thumbs up would be great, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. That would really help me out a lot. I appreciate everyone's support so far. I've really been enjoying doing this, and I hope to get to continue because there's a lot of nice stuff coming out, and I have other things that I'm going to be reviewing too that I haven't even gotten to take pictures of. So make sure and subscribe, get those notifications. There's quite a few other things that I've got that we're going to be taking a look at. So there it is. I appreciate everyone again, and hope everyone has a great week. May the Force be with you.